We have to do it. Like this is perfect. Um, so we decided we're going to call it Doom, and it's going to be demons taking over everything, and we're going to be space marines out at a base on Phobos, and there's science experiments. And Tom's like, "What's the company going to be called that's doing it, and what countries own this stuff? Is it just the U.S.?" Like, so he's really filling out the world as fast as he can, and he's writing a thing called the Doom Bible, which is just a design document for Doom. And so he's making that in November of '92. And John's experimenting with the tech and things that it could do. And so we go into the Christmas, our 2 week Christmas vacation, already knowing what we're going to make as soon as we get back. And one of the important things, we get back into the office and we're like, okay, now we're going to make this game. We saw how well Wolfenstein was when we took all the time that we needed to make a great game and we weren't on a schedule. It worked out really well. We spent double the amount of time normal. we used 4 months instead of 2 months. So we're like, no time limit. And I said, let's make the best thing that we can possibly imagine playing. We've never done this before in the game. Try and make something that, like, can you come up with something that's even cooler? That goes in this game. So it was like, this is the only game that we ever, even Quake, no games past that, did we ever say, this has to be the best thing we can imagine playing on a computer. So that's what we started making, and we didn't know what it was going to look like. We had no idea. We just knew that we were going to try making it, whatever it was. We knew the idea of the game, but what would it turn out to be? If you make games all the time, you know that initial idea is not what you see on the screen after years of work. Hopefully it's approximate, and it's close, but so many things happen during development. Better ideas happen. Things can't work the way that they don't work the way that you would hope for, so you have to come up with different design ideas, that kind of stuff. And with Doom, we did hit a lot of roadblocks while making Doom, because this tech was very demanding on a 386, is what we were still using back then. Very demanding on a 386-33. It was going to take up more memory, so it was going to be a 4 megabyte memory game. It was the first game that we made that went over a megabyte. So it was the first 32-bit game that we've made. And the look of the world, the data structure that John made could allow anything, but when we started making levels, we were still making very Wolfenstein style levels, because that's all that ever happened in games at that time. There was nothing other than that. So it was really hard to break out of that mental design space that we've only seen examples of in real life. So one day, when Tom had just kind of hit a wall, block, he knew that this was not the next level. Like, the levels were not the next thing. It was, yes, it looks better than Wolfenstein, but it's not a new paradigm shift. It's not like a revolution. So I just said, I'm going to play around with the editor. I just finished making like a real early version of the editor to use this data structure to make our levels. And so I just said, I'm going to work on it. And I in my office, I'm just thinking, what do I want to do? Playing around with how I can draw lines and how I can, make different heights and different, darkness in rooms and light areas and contrast and, silhouetting characters and all that. And so I made just a room, like a lead-in into it, but mostly just one room. I just made this one room that was like nothing Tom had made, that was like the idea of what's called abstract level design style. And I was like, okay, this is it. And I brought everybody in the room, and they're just like, oh my God, yes. I'm like, that's the direction we need to go in. And everybody agreed, like, this is stuff no one's seen before in this one room.